Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the upcoming transit of the planet Mars. So guys, I always pick up my topics for upload. This is the prevalent theme of the day. So it's a Tuesday and moon is also transiting from the Aries sign. So that just gave me this insight that Mars transit is not that far, so we can have our discussion on that. So definitely guys, Mars transit becomes very important because Mars just tells about the exertion of our energies. And if in any case Mars is right now in a driving seat in your life, like let's say for example you are going through the Mars Mahadasha, Mars Antardasha, or your business, your occupation is connected with the planet Mars, anything to do with construction, real estate, or being a surgeon, being in any of the political situation, like I mean to say if you're going through any of the lawsuit and all, so for that as well somehow Mars has something to contribute. So in any way, if Mars is in a governing situation in your life, then definitely this transit is going to have a stronger say in your case. Second thing is that guys, when it comes down to understanding the Mars's transit in the Virgo, because Mars will transit to the Virgo sign on August 18th, and from August 18th till October 2nd, it's going to be transiting in the Virgo sign. Now guys, as you know that Mars see Cancer as its sign of debilitation. Guys, when it comes down to the way Martian energy manifest or function, over here you have to be you have to take it with a pinch of salt, because definitely Mars do not see the Lord of Cancer moon as its enemy, but it still gets debilitated in its own sign. What does it tell about? That Mars in the water sign can actually manifest many negative emotions like resentment, depression, obsession, jealousy. Same is the way Mars sees Mercury as its enemy. Like specifically, I would say that Mercury has got the rulership over Gemini and Virgo. So being in the Gemini is more sensitive placement or alignment for the planet Mars, because Mars is a planet of discipline and focus. And in Gemini, there's a lot of playfulness and frivolousness which is attached over there. But when it comes down to the sign Virgo, over there in many cases, in many charts, I have seen Martian energy to be manifesting good results, because guys, at the end of the day, Virgo is a earth sign. Like Mars also attains its exaltation in the Capricorn sign as well, which is another earth sign. So the point which I'm saying over here is that a lot of the Martian energies kind of overlap with the attributes of the Virgo, because as you know that Virgo in a way represents discipline, perfection, being very meticulous. And why to go very far, like a portion of the Virgo also carries the energy of the Martian ruled nakshatra like Chitra as well. So because of which this transit can still manifest good results. It all comes down to what kind of yogas you have in your chart, what kind of dashas are operational in your case, and definitely basis we will get into the customized results, then you will get to know about that. So okay guys, let's just start our discussion. And the general guideline or theme for Mars's transit in the Virgo, as per my opinion, is that it can definitely make you very like work very hard, being very concerned about fulfilling your duties and responsibilities. Many times what happens is that whenever Mars is in the Virgo, like whether in the transit or whether in your natal chart as well, these people have to be loaded and busy with work and something to be in the pursuit of. If you will make these people either completely free or too overpacked with work, too much loaded with work, these people manifest a lot of the surplus or a lot of the nervous energy which do not work out, which do not release in a graceful or dignified way. So the point which I'm saying over here is that if they have something they are chasing with right set of resources, they will definitely put forth their energies in a very meticulous, in a very planned, in a very perfectionist way. So okay guys, let's just start our discussion. So starting first with the Aries Lagna natives. So definitely guys, for the Aries Lagna natives, Mars becomes your ascendant lord and in the transit Mars is going to be transiting in your 6th house. So guys, only in one area I would say that this transit could be a little bit vulnerable for you, in this way that as you know that 6th house is also the house of diseases as well, and the lord of the 6th house where Mars is going to be transiting for you is also 12th from it. So because of which the only way I can see this transit to be acting out vulnerable for you, that in the matters of the health it can create issues, and second thing is that it can also make you a little bit very quick to anger, like easily getting annoyed, and specifically if you are in a line of work where there is too much of the multitasking, too much of the arbitration or pushing people around, if that is a part of the nature of your job, over there a lot many people might find themselves overwhelmed, frustrated, quick to anger. So that is how energy can manifest. But definitely guys, if in your natal chart all the planets are in a dignified way placed in your chart, and you do not manifest the impulsive, aggressive or quarrelsome side of the Mars, then I would say that this can actually improve things at your work front in a way that it can actually make you very competitive, very goal oriented. You know how to exert your authority, how to get work done, whether via diplomacy or whether through the force, but you know how to get the work done. And definitely guys, because it's your ascendant lord, so that means in whichever house it is going to be transiting, it is going to be protecting your interest in that house. So if in any case you have to write any competitive exam, you have to, or you are going through any of the lawsuit related concerns, over there things can work out in your favor. Because guys, from over here as well, the houses which Mars is going to be aspecting, so from over here Mars is going to be giving its 4th aspect to your 9th house, which in itself is a very good indication that you will be very much driven towards the religious austerities. Any of the work related travel will be very comforting, and from over here Mars is going to be giving its 7th aspect to your 12th house as well. So again, foreign travels connected to work will prove to be very comforting, will prove to be very favorable for you. And also guys, because Mars is going to be giving its 8th aspect to your 1st house as well. Now just because Mars is going to be looking at its own sign, its own house, so definitely guys, this is going to be a transit where Mars will definitely protect or promote your interest, and that is how I'm looking at this transit. Only in the matters of the health and your temper, you have to be cautious and careful. But let's say for example, if your dashas are running very supportive, very favorable, and during this time you have to write any competitive exam, any of the concerns of important work related travels or important work related decision making, so the transit will definitely prove to be very supportive for you. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Taurus Lagna natives. So guys, in your case, as you can see that Mars has got the rulership over your 7th house and the 12th house, and it is going to be transiting in your 5th house. So guys, one thing is for sure that any of the concerns of your 5th house, over there you will become very meticulous, very perfectionist, to the point of easily getting annoyed. So let's say for example, during this time, for lot many people who are in relationship, so any of the casual, frivolous approach, attitude or behavior of your partner might very easily annoy you. Or let's say for example, if you're already going through kind of, you know, where your children do not listen to you, so during this time your endurance is going to be very short. Easily you might fly to rage or easily getting angry, might be a theme for the Taurus Lagna natives. Also guys, with this kind of transit, there will be some sort of financial gain or a sudden speculative gain, because as you can see that Mars is actually aspecting the houses which can promise that. Second thing is that guys, for anything to do with the academics or for all those people who have to write any competitive exam, this is going to be a supportive transit for them. The only thing is that guys, because as you know that 5th house also tells about the way our mind function, and this is a kind of a sign where, like the way I mentioned this thing, that you might be perfectionist and too critical, that if things are not working out as per your plan, as per the way you would have anticipated, it might easily make you angry. So that is the only one flaw which I am looking at over here for you guys. Second thing is that guys, even in the matters of relationship as well, like because Mars is your 7th house lord as well, so yes, there is going to be a lot of high bar of expectations from your partner. So over there you have to be cautious, you have to be careful. The only way it is going to be working out in a constructive positive way is for the students and for all those people who are engaged in artistic and creative fields. Definitely your self critique and your capacity to very meticulously kind of assess your work will bring out some very magnum opus kind of creative work. So for the creative professional, this could be a favorable transit. Also guys, from over here, Mars is going to be giving its 4th aspect to your 8th house, which is a very comforting aspect of the planet Mars. So definitely your quick wit or your good decision making or active decision making will definitely guard you from any of the harmful energies around you, because all sort of threat, all sort of scandals, negativity is generally attached with the 8th house. So Mars's aspect will definitely safeguard your interest over there. Second thing is that because Mars is going to be giving its straight aspect to your 11th house as well. So during this time, definitely a lot many Taurus Lagna native will be ready to fight for the rights, for safeguarding the interest of their friends as well. So in whichsoever capacity or whatsoever your friend circle is, in order to protect them, safeguard them, help them, cooperate with them, you will definitely put forth your best efforts, best energies during this time. And definitely whatsoever you will be doing it for them, they will acknowledge, they will appreciate your efforts as well. And yes guys, because with its 8th aspect, Mars is going to be looking at your 12th house as well. So definitely guys, 8th house, 12th house, so like if in any capacity, any of the work related travel, if that is getting applicable in your case, or let's say for example you are a student, during this time only, either you have to write any of the competitive exam for your admission in a foreign university, or during this time only your session is about to begin, or you have to write any competitive exam being placed in a foreign university and all, then definitely this transit or this presence of Mars in your 5th house will prove to be very favorable. And lastly guys, because 5th house also represents all sort of adventurous activities, sports, recreational environment and activities as well. So definitely Mars is a very competitive, is a very adventure rush planet. So definitely its presence in the 5th house will definitely drive you towards all these kind of adventurous activities and feat. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Gemini Lagna natives. So guys, in your case, as you can see that Mars is going to be now transiting in your 4th house. So guys, in your case, the transit is kind of little bit sensitive, because definitely Mars is not a favorable planet for you. That's one red flag. Second red flag is that even the transit of Mars in the 4th house, that too the sign being ruled by your ascendant lord in itself, is kind of a little bit sensitive energy. Now definitely guys, because Mars is a planet of aggression. Second thing is that being transiting in the Virgo, so all the energies will be concentrated towards being very critical, bar of perfection might go very high, and just because it is going to be operating in your domestic life, so over there might be quarrels, there might be bickering which you might have to experience at your domestic life. And definitely guys, because transiting planets just validate or confirm what is there or what has been promised in your chart, or whatsoever prevailing circumstances you are going through. So let's say for example, if in any case you are already in a very toxic domestic environment, things are already not going very good, people within your home, they do not get along well with each other, like if you are in a big joint family and all, so, or like in any capacity, let's say for example, because I kind of remain very isolated over here in Canada, but there are those neighborhood where even people within the neighborhood as well, they do not get along well. Like issue could be for any reason, but during this time, if you're already in those kind of environment situation, so this is a triggering transit. So over there you have to remain very cautious, very careful. Better try to solve out any of the differences, whether in the house or with your neighbors, very amicably, very friendly way. That is the one thing which I want to advise. Second thing is that guys, because only one way where I'm looking at this transit to be working out favorably for you, because somehow this is a kind of a place where from where Mars is actually expecting all of the houses of your commercial interest, your professional activities and the gains attached. So one thing is for sure, that if in any capacity you're operating in the domain of like construction, real estate, manpower management and all, so then this transit will prove to be very favorable for you, because as you can see that Mars is going to be giving its fourth aspect to your seventh house of commercial interest, 10th house of your occupation, your profession, your public image, and 8th aspect to your 11th house of gains. So for all the professional realtors and all, this could be a very favorable transit for them. Like you will be able to negotiate, arbitrate and find the best deal for you, and your execution, the way you handle your clients, the way you are kind of performing your job and all will be definitely appreciated by your clients as well. So for the realtors, this could be a good transit. And also guys, even in the matters of the personal relationship as well, over there as well, because as you can see that the fourth aspect of Mars is going to be looking at your seventh house as well. So your partner might be like very demanding, kind of try to control you a lot. Like your partner might have good interest, good intention for you, but you might not like that much of the control, that much of the questions being asked. So behave kind of very cautiously, because you do not want your domestic peaceful vibe to get disturbed. And definitely guys, because 6th house and 11th house Lord energy is coming in the 4th house, so a lot many people during this time might have to get any of the house related construction or interior decor, reconstruct, redecor, or some sudden breakdown, some sudden expense where you have to call a handyman, get things fixed at the house, at your home. So all that can be anticipated with this entry of Mars in your 4th house. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Cancer Lagna natives. So definitely guys, in your case, Mars becomes your Yoga planet, having a rulership over your trine house and the angular house, and in the transit Mars is going to be entering your 3rd house. So definitely guys, the transit seems to be very favorable, specifically for all those people in whose case their profession is somehow connected with the matters of the 3rd house, like sales, media, marketing. You are a performing artist, you are an influencer, a travel and tour business, content creation. So the transit will prove to be very favorable, because guys, from over here as well, as you can see that Mars is going to be looking at some auspicious houses with its additional aspect as well. With its 4th aspect, it is going to be looking at your 6th house, which will definitely help you come to any sort of resolution or kind of solution to any of the ongoing health related concern, debt related concern, or lawsuit related issues and all. With its 7th aspect, it is going to be looking at your 9th house, and with its 8th aspect, it is going to be looking at your 10th house as well. So that in itself means that your capacity to take initiative at the right time, your capacity to lead in any of the difficult conflicting situation will be appreciated. So at your work front, you will be able to execute your duties with the best of your capabilities. Any of the travels, if they will get materialized during this time, you will be able to handle that. And if being in a very high pressure job, high pressure related situation, you will be able to multitask, will be able to manage well, or able to gather the right set of resources to get the job done. And also guys, because Mars is a very quick planet, so you will not even hesitate, even if you have to, like a lot many times what happen is that we try to overlook or postpone things because we are feeling very tired to personally go, to personally travel to someone who might have otherwise played a very important role, but you will be very quick to take decision, to make a short trip, get the job done, get the document signed, get that personal touch. So regarding all that front, it's a good transit. The only thing is that guys, because from the 3rd house, as you can see that 3rd house also tells about our neighbors. It is also the house of our siblings, our friends and all, our colleagues and all. So with the within the personal relationship, it can actually make you very critical, which might not get along well with the friends. So let's say for example, it all comes down to the kind of relationship you're already holding. Like if you know that you you are being seen as a nitpicker whenever you are around your siblings or whenever you are around your friends. So during this time, do not push it too much, because other people might get annoyed. You might have some good interest, you might have some good sort of feedback, but other person might not take it in a good light. So just try to balance it out well with the living signification of the third house, which are your friends, which are your siblings, your colleagues, your neighbors. But apart from that, in general, regarding your professional endeavors and all, and also guys, because it's the lord of your 5th house and the 10th house, so I would say that whether we talk about in your professional front, any of the projects, if they will get initiated during this time, you will be able to manage them well. For the students, if you have to write any competitive exam, you will be able to perform good. And also guys, even within the loving romantic relationship as well, so energy is very favorable. Like, you will be in command of all the affairs, all the matters of your 5th house and the 10th house for sure. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Leo Lagna natives. So definitely guys, in your case as well, Mars becomes your Yokarka planet, having the rulership over your angular house and the trine house, and now it is going to be transiting in your 2nd house. So guys, one good news is that whenever Mars is transiting from the 1st house, it a lot many times makes someone very aggressive, energetic, hyperactive, and not all of us are equipped enough to handle that surge of energy. So now Mars is going to be transiting in your 2nd house. Now guys, the good news is that because Mars in your case has got the rulership over your 4th house of your domestic life and 9th house of the good luck, of fortune, divine blessing. So that in itself tells about that just because this planet and all these energies are going to be influencing the matters of your 2nd house, so that means that you will be able to handle any of the responsibilities which you owe to your family for sure. Second thing is that guys, even in the matters of your financial portfolio, if you have to make any amendments, make any changes, do any of the revamp, you will be able to do that very successfully as well. The only way I'm seeing this transit to be a little bit vulnerable for the Leo Lagna native is that because guys, 2nd house is also the house of our speech. So Mars over here, it's not like that Rahu is already transiting over here, which would make you a liar or a schemer. The only thing is that Mars in the 2nd house, that too for your Lagna in the Virgo, in the 2nd house, many times makes people give very sharp tongue. Like, you might be telling truth, you might be giving the hard facts, but the way you will be blurting it out, the way you will be speaking it out might hurt other people, might other people might take it as an offense and all. So be very cautious, be very careful. But definitely guys, for all those people who are like because Saturn is also right now strengthened in your 7th house, so one thing is for sure that for all those people specifically who are in business, who are like self-employed, you are connected with politics or public service, or in any way you are on the top of the management, and during this time you have to take some very important decision, some sort of acquisition of companies or restructuring your company management and all. So you will be able to very successfully take all these decisions. So regarding that front, the transit of Mars in your 2nd house seems to be very favorable. Also guys, during this time I would say that the 4th house lord is now going to be transiting in your 2nd house. So definitely within the family as well, some of the family responsibilities might come suddenly, which will burn a hole in your pocket. So be kind of ready for that. But again guys, because the kind of role which Mars plays in your case, it does not look like to be a bad debt. It will be in your favor only. And lastly guys, I would say that during this time, because whenever the 9th house lord is transiting from the 2nd house, it is a very good time for making some donations or any of the donations supporting the religious work, religious institutions, supporting them in any way, in any capacity, will prove to be very beneficial for you. And lastly guys, because we have to look at what Mars's aspect is going to be doing for you. So Mars is going to be aspecting your 5th house, your 8th house and your 9th house. So definitely guys, the 4th aspect of Mars goes to your 5th house, which in itself is a very good indication specifically for the students, like all those people who have to write any competitive exam and all. This is going to be very fruitful time for them. Second thing is that guys, because from over here Mars is going to be looking at your 8th house as well. So for any of the matters of joint resources, if you are actually going through any of the paternal property related dispute and all, so some sort of clarity over there can come to you. And also guys, because the way these three houses somehow are very strongly connected with adhyatma, with mantra sadhana, with spirituality, with religious austerities as well. So I would say that if in any of the capacity, because within India as well, we are like right now going through some very auspicious holy days of Shravan month and all, although when this the major part of this transit will not be in the month of Shravan, but still I would say that for any of the like planning within the family, like I would say that if it is possible for you to, like for long the whole family has been requesting you or insisting you for some vacation, for some travel and all, so I would say that planning a travel with the whole family and specifically with any of the religious visit or with pilgrimage in the mind as well, so that will also prove to be a very good decision as well. And definitely guys, as you can see over here that with the aspect going to your 8th house to the 9th house, so like the way I already mentioned this thing, any of the dispute, joint resources related issue and concern, so clarity, closure, some good news in all these areas can be expected with this presence of Mars in your 2nd house. Now guys, for all the Virgo Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, as you can see over here that Mars is not a very favorable planet for you because of the rulership over your 3rd house and your 8th house, and it is going to be transiting right over there in your 1st house. So guys, one thing is for sure that during this time, a lot many Virgo Lagna natives might be very quick to anger. So the way you manage things, if you are already in a high pressure job or in an environment where you have to multitask a lot, so a lot many people will be very easily losing their temper. So over there you have to be a little bit cautious and careful. Also guys, this is a kind of a typical transit which is actually making you very prone to getting into fights, getting into conflicts with people and all, because as you know that the way planets are influencing you, Rahu is already transiting over there in your 8th house. In a way you are in a influence of Guru Chandal Yoga in your 8th house. Saturn is there in your 6th house, and a lot of that is coming in your 1st house. That in itself means that if you will pick up any fight, if you will get entangled into any argument, any conflict, it is not gonna be able to get resolved amicably, or it's not gonna be there not influencing you much. It will definitely come back to you onus, answerability, or like you know, then later on regretting or not being able to fix the mess which you have made. So be very cautious and very careful when Mars is transiting from your 1st house. Now guys, when we talk about the good part of this transit, so definitely guys, if in your natal chart planets are in a dignified state, you are running through some very favorable dasha, and then if you are in that line of work like where there is too much of the exertion of the energy is required in the form of you have to kind of arbitrate or problem solve, lot of the mechanical skills is required in your line of work, then I would say then this transit can actually help you, or you can get benefited. Or in any way guys, all those profiles where too much of the physical energy is required. Now this could be that you are an athlete, or you are in any of the physically demanding job. You might be working in construction, you might be working in any of the job which require you to work long hours, or which demand too much of the problem solving and all. Then in those scenarios and cases, people can still get benefited. Also guys, because all the Virgo related matters will definitely get a boost. So, and because in your case Mars is your 3rd house lord as well. So let's say for example, if during this time you are like in a situation where there is already too much of the threat around you in a form of generally which happens in the politics and all, or let's say for example you are in a very cutthroat field, and then you are about to launch any product where you might suddenly be getting that evil eye from your competitors, or where there is going to be too much of the expectations which has been set out from you. So you'll be able to manage things well, you will be able to manage pressure well, or you'll be able to deal with any of these conflicting energies with the best of your capabilities. So yes guys, this is how I'm looking at this transit. And when we talk about the additional aspect of the planet Mars as well, so because from over here Mars is going to be looking at your 4th house. So definitely guys, whatsoever is very dear to you, whatsoever is very close to you, so you will put your life on the line in order to safeguard it, in order to protect it. So definitely during this time you will be very overly protective for your loved ones. That is the one thing. Second thing is that because Mars is giving its aspect to the 4th house as well, so for the professional realtors or any of the concerns of real estate and all will prove to be somehow very favorable for you. Like, I will not say this is a very good time for you to buy a property, but for selling out, like any of the property which you have been trying to sell out for a long span of time, you might get a potential buyer during this time. And for the professional realtors, this is definitely going to be a favorable time. And guys, because Mars is going to be looking at your 7th house and the 8th house as well. So yes guys, over here, because your 7th house lord is already afflicted, being in the 8th house in the influence of Rahu. So that in itself tells about that within the family related matters, joint resources, the way you are behaving with your partner or with your in-laws. So try to be very cautious, very polite, very tender while dealing in any of the sensitive matters. Like your aggression, your kind of body language might easily offend or hurt people around you, specifically to your partner or to your in-laws. So over there you have to remain a little bit cautious and careful, because you know that your 7th house lord is already afflicted in the 8th house. So be very careful, or tread very carefully in those areas. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Libra Lagna natives. So definitely guys, in your case, as you can see that Mars has got the rulership over your 7th house and the 2nd house, and it is going to be transiting in your 12th house. So yes guys, after a long span of good news and good transit info for the Libra Lagna natives, my favorite Lagna, now you are in a kind of a little bit watchful or prone zone, because guys, 7th house lord and the 2nd house lord being in the 12th house in a sign where it is not considered as very graceful. Definitely Mars in the Virgo can be very like critical, very perfectionist, knows how to get the work done, how to push around people to get the work done. But again, somehow when things are not happening as per your liking, the frustration and outburst also is very high in this kind of alignment. So definitely guys, a couple of things which I want to mention, that definitely any of the matters of your finances needs to be handled very, very carefully. Again guys, this is not an energy of where Rahu is not involved or Ketu is not involved. I'm not seeing you guys being vulnerable for getting scammed or being deceived and all of that. It's just like that there is an energy of lot of the exertion of energy. Like the way what happens is that whenever planets are transiting from the 12th house, they drain us of our energy without giving us much of the recognition or reward for that. Like if had it been the 11th house, whatever we are doing, we are getting recognized for that. Whatever is happening in the 10th house, our status is enhancing because of that. And 9th house is like it is going in the good books of our fortune. But when we talk about the 12th house, it's just like getting drained of energy without people appreciating you for your efforts. So that is how guys things are going to be working out. So specifically for all those people who have been single, if during this time you will run into someone, so do not be very quick to come to any conclusion. And second thing is that do a proper background check, because 12th house has got a lot of the hidden energy, and your 7th house lord in any case is a planet Mars, which has got lot of wounds, lot of the backstory attached to it. This could be court cases, this could be some disputes in the past. So whomsoever you will meet, if you are recently and suddenly getting introduced to someone, now this could be in the form of business deal, business partnership, or whether in the form of a loving romantic relationship and all. So do a proper background check, or be very cautious, careful while committing yourself or while getting comfortable with someone new. That is one thing. Second thing is that guys, definitely expenses might suddenly go very high. So generally this is what we recommend, that whenever this kind of alignment is taking place, it simply means that now the vibration, the vibe surrounding you is going to be burning a hole in your pocket. Better do it in a graceful, dignified way so that you will not regret later on. Trust me guys, a lot of my tattoos were made at a time when I was going through the highest prone time of accidents and surgeries. So in a way that I channelized, I reconciled that energy. So the point which I'm saying over here is that doing charities, doing donations during this time will be a very wise way of honoring the energy of your second house lord transiting in the 12th house. And yes guys, and also because when we talk about Mars also has got to do with the your sexual desires as well. So because it is going to be transiting from the 12th house. Now I do not know where your natal moon is placed in the chart or where your natal Venus is placed in the chart, but yes, it also give rise to a lot of the desires and pent up feelings and all. So suddenly feeling very easily getting attracted towards someone or all those things. See guys, when we talk about like Venus could give you pleasure from different things, but when it comes down to Mars, it has more to do with the sexual impulses and instincts. So balance and order needs to be maintained over there as well. So yes guys, this is the way I'm looking at this theme. The only way I'm seeing this transit to be working out favorably for you is that if in any way you are currently operating or working in the domain of the 12th house. Let's say for example, you have any of the international business or foreign university admission, immigration related concerns, business, work related international travels and all, then those cases people can still get benefited. Or let's say for example, you are as a profession working in the fields of ashram, spirituality, you're doing it as a profession as well. So if you're operating in the 12th house related domain, then this could be beneficial for you. Mars is not debilitated over there, Mars is not in the influence of Rahu over there. But for the general masses, during this transit, your expenses, new people, secrets, like also you have to be very careful who you are sharing your secrets with, who you are sharing your inner demons with. So all of that will become very important. After that guys, the different aspects of the planet Mars. So from over here, Mars is going to be aspecting your third house with its fourth aspect, your sixth house with its seventh aspect, and your seventh house with its eighth aspect. So definitely guys, this is a kind of a typical transit where you will definitely try to protect your loved ones with the best of your capabilities. It hardly matters whether they are gonna acknowledge it or not, but definitely you will defend your friends, your siblings, even when they do not know. Behind their back, you are still protecting or safeguarding their interest. So that is how you are going to be operating. And also guys, because Mars is going to be aspecting your sixth house as well and seventh house as well, where Rahu is already transiting. So not a very good time for, you know, like specifically any of the matters of credit or lending money to people, or any of the concerns of conflict or picking up fights as well. Like rather it's a good energy in this way that if you're already going through any of the lawsuit related concern and you're going through some supporting favorable dasha, Mars in your natal chart is very well placed, then definitely it will safeguard you, it will protect you in the matters of law related entanglement and all. And definitely guys, I have already mentioned, if your commercial and business interest are connected with the foreign dealing, foreign travels, foreign businesses, so then it is going to be beneficial for you. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Scorpio Lagna natives. So definitely guys, it's a very important transit for you because this is the transit of your ascendant lord. So guys, your ascendant lord is going to be transiting in your 11th house, which is a very good news. Again guys, I always say this thing, if you have to differentiate between the 10th house and the 11th house, 10th house has got more to do with your status, with the work which you are doing, but whatsoever seeds you have sown, now the result of that is generally connected with the 11th house. And also all the important people are there in the 11th house, which can further our interest professionally. So yes guys, and beyond doubt, it is your ascendant lord, so it only has good things in store for you. And now just because ascendant lord is going to be transiting in your 11th house, so this will definitely create a yoga of a new job or recognition, you know, success for all those people who are expecting any promotion, awaiting for a job, some sort of performance you have to make, and you want your performance to be well received by your audience and all. So overall guys, any of the concerns of you know, important major events of your life where you want the support of the luck or you want the acceptance from important people and all. So I would say that this is going to be a very favorable transit regarding all that matters. The only way, guys, I'm seeing you vulnerable is that because, as you know, that Mars in the Virgo is not as vulnerable as it could be in Cancer or in Gemini. But the only thing is that Mars becomes very critical, and 11th house also carries our elder siblings, our friends as well. So over there, a lot many times you might have some good intention, but other people might get kind of hurt or might feel that you are like too much prying in their personal life. So over there you have to remain a little bit cautious and careful, specifically with the people who are connected with the house. So you're dealing with them over there, you have to be cautious and careful. But definitely, guys, pertaining to the matters of the improvement in your daily life, like specifically for all the service professionals and all, this is going to be a favorable transit. Like ascendant lord and the 6th house lord is gonna be transiting in your 11th house. And like the way, guys, I already mentioned this thing, any of the concerns of ongoing lawsuit or any of the health related concern, you are getting all the tests done, not getting any clarity, any relief. So over there as well, this is going to be a favorable time for you. So guys, my recommendation is that with the way other planets are influencing you right now, in whichever domain or area you are currently working, operating, this is the best time to put forth your efforts to launch your product, go for those important meetings, socialize with people, take the chance, take the leap of faith, and things will, and the planets will definitely support you. Now, guys, from over here, Mars is going to be aspecting some important houses for you. So Mars from over here with its 4th aspect is going to be looking at your 2nd house. So definitely, guys, if your ascendant lord is transiting in the house of income and looking at the house of your finances and savings, so then in itself, for the finance related matters, it is a very good news. And also you will be very protective towards your values, towards your family and family members as well. From over here, guys, Mars is going to be looking at your 5th house as well, which is a very good time for the students as well. Like for students, like if you have to write any competitive exam, give any of the performance, or you are awaiting for that creative spark, that inspiration for any of your creative projects, so things will work out in your favor. Also, guys, this is a kind of a typical transit where your energies will definitely be very much driven towards recreational activities, adventurous sports, and some good time with your loved ones, with your partner as well, for all those people who are in relationship. And guys, with its 8th aspect, Mars is going to be looking at its own sign, own house, which is the 6th house. So definitely, guys, at your work front as well, some sort of clarity, recognition, because again, guys, Mars is looking at your 6th house, its own sign, own house, but from where it is looking at it, it is looking at it from the highest point in your chart, from a house which is the house of success, recognition. So the good part over here is that you will have that position that you will be looking at all the matters of your daily life, of your profession, from a vantage point of recognition, success, or ultimately what you want to be or where you want to reach. So overall, guys, it's a good transit. I only have good things in store or good things to say for the Scorpio Lagna. Moving ahead, guys, now for all the Sagittarius Lagna natives. So guys, in your case, definitely Mars is a auspicious planet. It has got the rulership over one of your trine houses, 5th house and the 12th house, and it is going to be transiting in your 10th house. So definitely, guys, for any of the matters of your profession, Mars will definitely further your interest. Now Mars, whenever it is transiting in the 10th house and in the Virgo, it will make you hyper active, hyper critical. You will be able to handle, withstand any pressure. You will be able to exert your authority well, multitask well. So overall, guys, I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable. Mars in any case gets a directional strength as well in the 10th house. So overall, it's a good news that Mars is going to be transiting in your 10th house. Second thing is that, guys, because the role which Mars plays for you. So because Mars has got the rulership over your 5th house as well. From the 5th house, we see your intelligence. Rahu is already transiting over there. So let's say, for example, for all those people who have been working on some new idea, and you are all the time surrounded by ideas, but in order to perform it, present it, you do not get the right set of launch pad or platform to speak your or give presentation to all of your ideas and all. So I would say that this presence of Mars in your 10th house will definitely give you the kind of launch pad which you need or which you deserve. So regarding that front as well, guys, I would say that if you're already going through some supporting or favorable dasha and you are in that crossroad of your life, that something or some idea of yours is ready to be sold, it's ready to be presented to the important people. So life, destiny, circumstances will definitely connect the dots for you. So guys, if 5th house is the house of art, creativity, 10th house is the house of the actual stage, actual performing ground. So overall, guys, for the students, for the performing artist, people awaiting for a job call, job interview, overall this is going to be a very good transit. Now guys, because in your case Mars is carrying the energy of the 12th house as well. So it's just like that, whatsoever you want to get done at your work front, you might have to face some energy where people are envious of you, or your too critical approach might not get along well with everyone, or people secretly or behind your back start to group against you. So you might have to deal with these kind of situation as well. But yes guys, if in your line of work any of the international travel or work related travel as well, if that is involved, or if that will get materialized during this time, that will definitely enhance your status or reputation. So let's say for example, you will get picked up during this time from your team to head any of the project or go on some important project meeting internationally. So you will be able to perform good, which will definitely enhance your status within your company as well. So yes guys, this is how the transit is going to be influencing all the Sagittarius Lagna natives. Now guys, we have to see that how 10th house Mars is going to be aspecting your other houses as well. So from over here, Mars is going to be giving its 4th aspect to your 1st house, which can be seen as a very good indication, because definitely guys, Mars is a planet of energy. It is very favorable planet for your Lagna, like rather it's a good friend with your ascendant Lord Jupiter. So definitely it will safeguard your interest. Whatsoever decision you will take during this time, you will definitely have the bigger, broader picture or your public image in the back of your mind. From over here, Mars is going to be looking at your 4th house and the 5th house as well. So definitely guys, for all those people who are in the business of Mars, all the businesses and occupations which are chiefly connected with the Mars, like you are a surgeon or anything to do with the construction, real estate, manpower management and all, so all those people will definitely get benefited with this all these additional aspects given by Mars from the 10th house. Now guys, for all the Capricorn Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, as you can fairly see over here that Mars is now going to be transiting in your 9th house. Mars has got the rulership over your 4th house and the 11th house as well. So guys, one thing is for sure that during this time, like let's say for example, if you will get any of the opportunity where like your company is asking you to relocate or join some new branch, different branch, so any of those change of residence, transfer, work related travel will definitely prove to be very favorable. Second thing is that because it's your 4th house lord is going in the 9th house, that in itself tells about that within the matters of your real estate or house or property, let's say for example for long you have been trying to sell out any of your property and all, or let's say for example you are a first time new house buyer, so you will be able to get some lucrative deal. So like for all those people who are trying to sell out their property, they might be able to find a potential buyer, and those who are planning to invest in real estate and all, they might also land at some very good deals as well. And also guys, nothing would be better than that if you're already operating in the domain of real estate, you are a professional realtor, then definitely it's going to be very golden time for you. And also guys, for all those people who are in a public service, like this could be whether you are a politician or whether you are in judiciary as well, because I keep on seeing the charts of prominent Capricorn Lagna who are in the judiciary, they are a judge and all, and on top of the positions and all, I mean to say. So definitely guys, it's going to be a good time because Mars not only has got the rulership over your 4th house, but it has got the rulership over your 11th house as well. Now 11th house is considered as a prominent house of recognition, of success, important prominent people. So I would say guys that for people who are in public service and all, so during this time you will be able to get the support of important people as well, who will play a very important role or who will connect the dots for something which you have been trying to achieve for long. And yes guys, in a way, the only one thing which I want to add, because whenever planet is transiting in the ninth house, so I would say that had it been Venus, you can contribute to divinity in the form of like your money, or whether if it is Jupiter, sharing your wisdom, or like reading the holy text and all. Mars is a planet of actual physical energy. So I would say that if your schedule allows either doing any seva, any voluntary work at a place of religious importance, you can consider doing that. Or if taking any pilgrimage, and specifically guys, here I'm not talking about those kind of pilgrimages where you just park your car. Like I'm talking about more from Indian context, that you just parked your car and the temple premises is right over there, like somewhere where you have to kind of take a small journey to reach that place, to pay your obeisance, to pay your respect or honor to that deity, to that god. Like the typical in India, Vaishno Devi Mandir or Kedarnath Yatra. That Kedarnath is a little bit long, but any of those austerities, religious austerities could be performed, because Mars will definitely demand your physical energy in order to serve or show your gesture towards the higher powers. So yes guys, and definitely luck is definitely supporting you in all of the major areas of your life. So this is how this transit is going to be operating for all the Capricorn Lagna natives. Now guys, from over here as well, as you can see that Mars is going to be looking at your 12th house with its 4th aspect. So definitely guys, because 4th aspect of planet Mars is very comforting. So definitely any of the, like let's say for example from the past, there have been some insecurities, some sort of the wrong decision in the finances, in the investments, you will be able to safeguard yourself or kind of reconcile any of those past issues as well. With its 7th aspect, Mars is going to be looking at your 3rd house, which is again a very good indication that you'll be able to materialize or gather right set of resources which will definitely further your interest. And guys, Mars is definitely looking back at its own sign, own house, which is your 4th house, which in itself I mentioned for the professional realtors and all people in public service, this is going to be a very good time. Now guys, for all the Aquarius Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, although Mars is a very important planet for you because it has got the rulership over your 10th house of your actions, your professional endeavors, your status, all the important people, and the 3rd house of your efforts, of your prowess, of your initiatives, how resourceful you are, how well connected you are in the society. So guys, Mars is now going to be transiting in your 8th house, which is a kind of a sensitive alignment. So one thing is for sure, tread very carefully in any of your professional decision making during this time. And also guys, because Saturn is already transiting in your 1st house, so let's say for example, if you are in a line of work where any of the unlawful activities are also involved, like taking bribe or doing things where you are cutting corners or not doing your job sincerely, or you're already in any sort of some sort of inquiry which is already going on your professional conduct, behavior and all. So you have to be very careful, because this is a typical yoga where, you know, people suddenly get exposed, they get caught while taking bribe and suddenly some inquiry has been put on them. So if you are in those kind of situation, those kind of line of work or professions, you have to be very careful. Again guys, during this time, the way things are working out for you, so because Rahu is there in your 3rd house, which many times makes people very kind of you know, too much overconfident while taking any initiatives. So because of now Saturn in the 1st house and Mars also transiting now to your 8th house, do not easily get provoked, easily get agitated. A lot many times what happens is that you might not have that skill set, but people around you, your colleagues, your friends might kind of, you know, misguide you or push you towards something for which you do not have any expertise, any experience. So yes guys, at your professional front, you have to tread very carefully. Also guys, during this time, I already mentioned this thing, like because all the signing up of deal, contracts, agreement, documentation, we generally see from the 3rd house. So if you have to write any kind of, you know, sign any deal, sign any agreement and all, do that very carefully. And yes guys, this is definitely going to be a time of some professional transformation at your line of work. So it all comes down to that in which line of work you are in, what kind of dashas are currently operating in your case. Like let's say for example, if you're already going through some sensitive volatile dashas, then doing remedies and specifically Tuesdays and Saturdays recitation of Hanuman Chalisa or Sundarkand will become very important. But let's say for example, you are in that line of work that your ongoing dashas are running favorable, but you are in investment banking, you are an insurance agent, you are an astrologer, you are a psychologist, you are a therapist, then in those cases this transit will prove to be beneficial for you as well. So again, it all comes down to what is getting applicable and how much is getting applicable in your case. Now guys, from over here, Mars is going to be looking at some very important houses. That is the only reason guys I mentioned this thing, that because the way Mars is aspecting, it is actually aspecting your house of finances, income, opportunities, connections, initiatives. So if in your line of work, like you are a freelance person, you are a researcher, you are in some sort of scientific field, then this can actually prove to be very because whatsoever happens from the 8th house, it generally happens very suddenly with a blink of eye. And the gift and the monetary wealth potential which 8th house holds, it is very difficult to predict. It can actually give you enormous wealth as well. So many of the millionaires and people who win lotteries and all, they generally get it from either the support of the 5th house or the 8th house. So yes guys, all the aspect of the Mars is actually kind of safeguarding of furthering your financial goals, your financial interest. So be very cautious, be very careful if you are falling more on the vulnerable zone. But for rest of the people, this could also be a time of some new financial opportunities or some new connections for lot many Aquarius Lagna. And last guys, for all those people like in whose line of work, like if you deal with the heavy machinery, sharp edge weapons or tools, or you drive very rash, so be very careful, because whenever Mars is transiting from the 8th house, generally it is a yoga where people get cuts, get wounds, surgeries and all. So if that is getting applicable in your case, or you are in that profession where you have to handle these things, then you have to remain very careful. Now guys, for all the Pisces Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, as you can see that Mars has got the rulership over your 9th house of your luck, your religious austerities, divine grace, and the 2nd house of your immediate family, of your finances. And Mars is going to be transiting in your 7th house. So guys, one thing is for sure that for anything to do with the commercial interest or in any of the commercial matters, if you have been facing some blockage from the past couple of weeks, over there will be some clarity, because as you know that Mars is now coming out of your 6th house of conflict. So now is the time to reap the reward of whatsoever you have struggled in the past couple of weeks when Mars was transiting in your 6th house. Second thing is that guys, definitely because your 9th house Lord's energy is coming in the 7th house. So for all those people who are looking forward to some arranged marriage or matrimonial alliances as well, over there will be some positive energy, because Mars can actually act as a triggering factor in your favor. Because guys, very soon even Rahu is going to be leaving your 2nd house, and then Jupiter will be on its own to give you the good results. So yes guys, pertaining to the matters of your commercial interest, pertaining to the matters of some sort of enhancement in the public image, and that too definitely where you have proven yourself. Like definitely when we talk about people who are in whether sports or whether in the political sphere as well, where the public knows what you have actually endured, how much you have struggled, or like kind of celebrating your success with your fans, with your followers. So that is the kind of yoga which is getting formed right over there in your 7th house. The only thing is that guys, within your deep like a matrimonial relationship, like specifically with your partner, there could be some conflict where your partner might be trying to be very critical, trying to nitpick a lot. But the good part over here is that the kind of role which Mars plays in your case, so even the nitpicking of your partner is going to be something in your own advantage. So rather than completely shutting off your partner, be very much welcoming and open, and try to be kind of bit soft and diplomatic while handling any of the a heated energy or conflicting energy within your marriage. So that is how, guys, I'm looking forward to this transit. And for all those people in whose case any of the lawsuit related concern is getting applicable in any capacity, in any form, so some sort of clarity over there could also be experienced. Now, guys, because from over here Mars is going to be aspecting your 10th house, your Lagan, your ascendant, and your second house. So all of that is indicating this only, that because with its fourth aspect, Mars has got this protective, comforting instincts attached over there. So definitely, guys, over here you will not even realize that how other people will be kind of acting as a shield in order to safeguard your interest, or even people at your work front, your bosses might be kind of playing a very strong, favorable role in order to further your interest, because Mars is going to be giving its aspect to your ascendant as well. So definitely a lot many people will Pisces Lagna will find themselves very energetic, driven towards more physical work, withstanding any of the conflict, any of the energy of being in a challenging environment, being in a multitasking situation. So you'll be able to execute any of your duties, responsibilities, whether at your professional front or whether even at your family front as well, because Mars is going to be looking at your second house as well with its 8th aspect. So yes, guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for this upcoming transit of Mars in the Virgo for all the Lagnas. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.